My brother and I joined Scouting when we were 11 years old. We went on our first camping trip and cried. Rain got into our tent and we forgot our rain fly, and we spent a few hours trying to mop up the wet tent, and we were brought to tears at 11 years old. So that was a great memory. I can laugh at that now.
Kids benefit from Scouts in that they are able to experience new things for the first time, things that they wouldn't otherwise be able to do. Self-esteem is something that we want in kids, but it's not something that can be handed to them. It's something that they actually have to go out and earn. Self-esteem is the byproduct of hard work well executed. These kids in this Scouting program, that's what they have a chance to do.
The process of getting Eagle requires a lot of leadership within the troop. I definitely decided that I was going to dig my heels in and go for it.
Liam was my patrol leader when I first joined Boy Scouts, and he really got me to like camping, and he was just like one of the best patrol leaders.
Probably 12 years old, I started figuring it out. Definitely thought, well, hey, I now know what gay means, and that seems kind of like what I am. I decided to come out to my school. After I came out, I definitely thought about some of the repercussions in Scouting. I was aware that it was a little homophobic.
If you were gay and it was known to your troop, you could be ejected from your troop for no other reason. Basically, if you're gay, you're out.
If a youth wanted to come out, so to speak, who was a Boy Scout, a lot of it would depend upon the unit that he's currently entered in. Some troops may not be friendly to gays. There might be persecution there.
It felt really bad knowing that I wasn't accepted by like the organization as a whole, and it definitely led me to question like the difference between being an Eagle Scout and being a gay Scout.
This generation has gay friends. It's not a problem for them. And it's been embarrassing for those youth to be participating in a program that discriminates so blatantly.
There was a newspaper article in my high school's newspaper discussing what the Gay Scout policy was currently. The Hale editor wanted me to put an interview explaining what it was like to be a gay Scout. Danny Lang, the editor, the Boy Scout that I knew, called me and said that he had just talked to the chairman of the Chief Seattle District, and that person had said that if they found out who I was and that I was being published in an article and they knew that I was gay, that I would not be eligible for the Eagle rank. That was when I truly recognized that I could lose it all. And we had a long conversation on the phone. I definitely wanted to be open and honest about my sexuality, about me being gay. But at the same time, I felt like I already was an Eagle. I had completed all the requirements. All I needed to do was go prove that to these people in my board of review. So I decided that I would totally speak out against the Boy Scouts policy, and that's what I did. The article went to print the next day.
Up until the end of 2012, I was the advancement chair for the Aurora District. I did conduct the board of review for Liam. The article that came out on Liam is one that I saw before the board of review.
It was a long board of review. I think it was an hour. They sat me down in a room and started prying as to what Boy Scouts meant to me. They didn't ask any questions about me being gay. They did ask me what I would change about the Boy Scouts if I could, and I said they should definitely allow gay Scouts.
The questions that were asked Liam in the board were questions that I had always asked other Scouts. There was no mention of being gay or anything like that. There was nothing that he didn't do that you would expect from anyone seeking the Eagle Eagle rank and that. So it would have to be, I would have to say, if someone else didn't sign him off, in that case, it would, to me, it would be a clear sign of being prejudiced, and possibly that is a situation that some of the other districts or councils have.
After my Eagle Board of Review, it felt like a huge success. Probably one of the biggest successes I'll make in my life. It was a lot of work, six years of work.
In recognition of successful completion of all requirements for Scouting's highest rank, congratulations to both of you.
Congratulations,
Yeah.
good job. Proud of you.
The North Texas-based Boy Scouts of America finally came to a decision on where to draw the line on its gay ban. Gay Scouts can stay. 61%.
Within our movement, everyone agrees one thing. No matter how you feel about this issue, kids are better off in scouting.
When I was a child, as a Cub Scout and then as a Boy Scout, people would ask me what it is I wanted to be when I grew up. And invariably my answer was to be a Scoutmaster. So I would say I decided to be a Scoutmaster probably when I was, 11 or 12, when I first entered the program.
Last summer, Jeffrey, who's now our Scoutmaster and also a member of our church, came to me and another minister in the neighborhood and said, hey, we need to do something for our underprivileged kids.
The chance this year to actually live that childhood dream, to be the Scoutmaster of this troop, to help these kids figure out what scouting's all about and learn the Scout oath and promise just like I did, has meant the world to me. On Monday, I received a phone call from someone representing himself as an attorney for the Boy Scouts of America. And he called asking the question, are you an open and avowed homosexual? And I said, sir, that's an insulting question. But if you're asking if I'm a gay man, the answer is yes. That's when he told me that I should expect to receive formal notice that my membership would be revoked in the Boy Scouts of America. So the current position of the Boy Scouts of America is that you cannot be an adult volunteer and be gay, which sends a terrible message to the gay youth that participate in the program, that they have no hope of being a volunteer when they achieve the age of 18.
Jeff McGrath was really looking to change the Boy Scouts from the inside, not scolding from the outside, but really showing people that gay leaders will run a troop and the troop will work out fine. But he got shut down and there was a huge protest, which was awesome to see. He was on a lot of front pages. So he was a really inspiring figure.
Something that is very important to me is religious freedom, and we are a church that practices an open door policy for everybody. Love, all means all at our church. And when I signed the paperwork that said that the Boy Scouts would honor our religious beliefs and our religious tenets, I really believed they were going to honor our religious beliefs and our religious tenets. And that seems not to be the case when it doesn't agree with them.
The religious influence in Scouting is significant.
There's been a long relationship between the Mormon Church and and Boy Scouting, and in fact, it's considered an official part of their youth ministry.
About 75% of all scouting units are church-sponsored, and the largest number of sponsoring churches in the U.S. is the Mormons. They don't actually support and defend their gay membership, not in any sort of discernible way. The end result, though, of that combination is it means that the Scouts are quite conservative, more conservative than the rest of the nation.
So being a Scout, to me, it developed into a sense of knowing what was right and wrong. To think that this organization that stands up for leadership and for friendship and loyalty was betraying some of their members. It's not what the Boy Scouts mean. It's only been here for 30 years.
I do not think Scouting is a good environment for gay youth. I think it's a dangerous environment for gay youth. It can become a good environment for gay youth, but it is not that, not now, not today. It can be, but it does require changes, real changes.
I achieved their highest rank, and I put so much time and effort into the Boy Scouts. It seems really, really unfair that I'm going to be just signed off. The second I turn 18, I'm done. And it would be very painful to see my brother move on with his kids. If he was able to do that and I would not be able to, it would seem really, really unfair.
Those are two kids that I think Scouts would be really proud of. And the thing that's so crazy is that one is going to be able to go on in Scouting and the other one's out.
We really need to go back to what Scouting actually means. It means being kind and accepting and learning and teaching. The next step that the Boy Scouts need to make, and the one that I'm pushing for, is definitely to let me be allowed into the Boy Scouts before my kids are eligible to join. That's where they need to go next, and we're going to be pushing them all the way. They're going to take a lot of heat for this.
Our little story represents the arc of the country. If you are lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgendered, you will no longer hide. You are part of mainstream America. And what is more mainstream America than the Boy Scouts?
Who will you be delivering them to?
I'll make sure the appropriate people get it.
Thank you for taking it.
You're welcome.
This is really important.
I understand.
This one is an important one to fight for because it symbolizes access and civil rights and human rights for every part of our country. When we say all means all, we mean all means all.